I was surprised at how similar all of these bookstores were. But I realized that I don't want to change my characters to better fit an archetype.
But your parents came in the cul-de-sac, leaned back in a leather-clad seat, pack of spirits in your Prada bag. Suburban summer 17 was a roller coaster ride, a manic pixie dream girl right beside me, and she said she liked me, but I bet it was a right thing lining up at the wrong time. And I think maybe if I'd held on tight, she'd still be sitting by my side. I'll never know, I'll never know. I don't like messing with regrets, but I doubt you'd ever leave my head. What could I have done, could I have said? I'll never know, I'll never know. Sides of the crosstown tracks. Guess it's true sometimes opposites attract, but it never lasts. So maybe it was just the right thing lining up at the wrong time. And I think maybe if I'd held on tight, she'd still be sitting by my side. I'll never know, I'll never know. I don't like messing with regrets, but I doubt you'd ever leave my head. But you like to drink cheap. Should've known the first moment you're out of my league. But you said you liked me. Oh, I bet it was a right thing lining up at the wrong time. And I think maybe if I'd held on tight, she'd still be sitting by my side. I'll never know, I'll never know. I don't like messing with regrets, but I doubt you'd ever leave my head. What could I said? I'll never know, I'll never know. Oh, I'll never know, I'll never know. Oh, I'll never know, I'll never know.
As a late introduction to this video, hi, I'm Kaylee. This is episode 4 of my 185 Insane Challenge to change my life in 6 months by going from aspiring to full-time indie author. I got tired of waiting for the traditional publishing industry's approval to start my author career, so I decided to take back control of my future by self-publishing my sapphic coming-of-age novel in the vein of The Perks of Being a Wallflower meets On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous in the fall. If you want to learn more about my debut, you can check out my last video where I figure out how to write the blurb for that in real time. I didn't end up finding the book that I really want to read in my bookstore crawl yesterday, and I wanted to speak a little bit about the experience of going to these indie bookstores. I specifically selected indie bookstores as opposed to Barnes & Nobles or larger bookstores that I know I could find this book in, because I guess I sort of wanted to browse smaller, more community-driven spaces that could focus more on marginalized stories and voices. Just as a little preview for myself for my dream of one day seeing my own book on these shelves, I was surprised at how similar all of these bookstores were. Like, they all offered the same books. I recently went to Barnes & Noble back at home, and I recognized all of the books in these indie bookstores, like nothing was different or stood out, and that was a little disappointing for me. They all had walls full of, their indie bookstore bestsellers and stuff like that, staff picks, but all of the picks were very mainstream and things that I could find at Barnes & Noble. So yes, I understand that indie bookstores are also businesses that need to make profit in order to exist, but I'm just voicing my frustration that their offerings were sort of the same as a larger retail store. And as a future indie author, that was, I'm not gonna lie, at first very disheartening. And I just wanted to speak about how that sparked some of the thoughts I've been having recently about what it means to go on this indie author journey. It's obviously my dream to publish my debut. I've put in 5 years into crafting this story, and I really believe that it can help a lot of people who have gone on a similar journey battling their mental health. So I've got it in the perfect place that I want my art to be, in its written form, and now I'm just getting ready to share it. So I'm looking at all the different ways that this distribution can look like, and I'm slowly realizing that having it stocked in bookstore shelves might not be possible, because not only did these indie bookstores not have this is a traditionally published book that I'm looking for, A Bond Me for Two. It's traditionally published and these indie bookstores don't have it. Like, what are the chances that they're going to stock my self-published book? After my visits to these bookstores, I also did my own research on their websites to check under their FAQ section if they take self-published books on consignment, and a lot of them just outright say no, which is sort of like confirming my worst fears. This is very disheartening and making me relook at my dreams of being an author and reevaluating what that looks like. Being able to see my books on a bookstore bookshelf has always been part of that vision, but now I'm questioning, does it need to be? Does that need to happen in order for me to view my books publishing as a success? And I don't think so. I think the important part is that I'm able to start a conversation and bring people together with my book story, and that doesn't need to happen because it's being highlighted in a bookstore. I can do that through this YouTube channel and through other means. I just need to find those other outlets, which I'm getting kind of excited about, or I'm trying to trick myself into being excited about, because yes, this is an obstacle, but I think that if I can figure out how to overcome this obstacle, this is a great opportunity for me to really figure out the true purpose of my book story and how I can connect with the people who need it the most. So I'm still figuring all of that out. I just wanted to speak what's been on my mind and see if anyone else has been thinking these things or feeling this way. But besides from that, I really enjoyed going to the bookstores. They were so cute. It was such a fun day. But yeah, I'm hoping I can find the silver lining in this, because I know that I picked this indie author journey. So I know it's going to come with its own specific challenges, and one of that is distribution. I think that's a big reason why people choose the traditionally published route, is because your traditional publisher will give you access, will allow your books to end up in these bookstores on their shelves. And I'm fully understanding that now. I understood that in theory before, but I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm not giving up hope. I will find some way to see my book on some bookshelves. Maybe that doesn't mean on a bookstore bookshelf, and maybe that just means in the readers who will cherish this story. Maybe it just means on their bookshelves. And I'm realizing that that is so much more important to me than what I had previously imagined. So that is my little update for now. I want to get some writing sprints in and keep on working on revising my fantasy novel. Recently, I had a mini crisis with my fantasy novel. I was reading a craft book on romance, and since my fantasy book, Project Paradise, is a Hades Persephone retelling with a Chinese mythology twist, I thought that I needed to change my main leads, a princess and her assassin turned bodyguard, to better fit the Hades Persephone dynamic, as outlined in said craft book. It sounded like the perfect solution to some issues I was having with my love interests, motivations, and goals being centered around my main character, as opposed to having her own agenda. But I would need to completely change my characters to do so. This made me stop writing for a few days because I was putting off having to completely replot my book. But I realized that I don't want to change my characters to better fit an archetype, because then they would feel more generic, like a lot more other traditional Hades and Persephones. And I don't want to do that. My Hades character might be more feminine and my Persephone might be more masculine, but I'm okay with that. I love them as they are. Since I've accepted my characters, writing has become fun again.
But your parents came in the cul-de-sac, leaned back in a leather-clad seat, pack of spirits in your Prada bag. Suburban summer 17 was a roller coaster ride, a manic pixie dream girl right beside me, and she said she liked me, but I bet it was a right thing lining up at the wrong time. And I think maybe if I'd held on tight, she'd still be sitting by my side. I'll never know, I'll never know. I don't like messing with regrets, but I doubt you'd ever leave my head. Oh, could I have done, could I have said, I'll never know, I'll never know. Sides of the crosstown tracks. Guess it's true sometimes opposites